We would like to get this event started. I'll give the next 2 minutes to have all inductees seated, please. Ushers, please help them so that it can be quick. Ushers, please assist them so they can be rapid. Our registrar and very important personalities are already seated for this event to commence. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to get this event started by establishing a brief protocol, recognizing the very important personalities who are here in our midst today. We'd like to start by welcoming and recognizing the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare for the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Mohammed Ali Pate, who will be represented. The Honorable Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, as well, for the Federal Ministry of Health, who will be represented here. But we have here the Chairman, House Committee on Health Institutions, the current Chairman of the House Committee on Healthcare Services in Nigeria's 10th National Assembly. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Amos Gwamna Magaji, please give him a round of applause. Welcome, sir. We'd like to recognize and to welcome the Chairman of the Board of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Professor F.E. Afolabi Lessi. Please give him a round of applause. We have with us as well the Registrar and the Chief Executive Officer of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Professor Fatima Kyari. We have seated with us as well our guest lecturer, who is the Vice Chancellor of one of the most prestigious universities in Nigeria. I'm talking about Nile University of Nigeria, Professor Dilli Dogo. Please give him a round of applause. It's a great pleasure for us to have our guest speaker here today who will be giving the keynote address. A man who I've seen on TV quite a bit, but I'm glad to meet in person, the Chairman, This Day Editorial Board, Mr. Olusegun Adeni. Please give him a round of applause. Also in our midst is the Chief Medical Director of the University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, Professor Tahiru. Please give him a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. To our guests who are here seated, of which we may have Your Excellencies, serving governors and retired or past governors, distinguished senators, honorable members, heads of ministries, departments, and agencies, permanent secretaries, and senior government staff, government of Nigeria staff, serving military and police officers, especially of high-ranking officers, our Lord spiritual and temporal, His Royal Highnesses and His Royal Majesties, our traditional rulers and emirs here present, captains of industry, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning and welcome to this oath-taking, this pledge-taking ceremony of foreign-trained medical and dental graduates brought to you by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Please, I just want to be sure that you're all here for this event. Can you put your hands together and let me be sure that we're here? Thank you. My name is Sambo, Dr. Yakubu Sambo. I'm a doctor by day, MC by night, and I'm a superhero all day. Today, I have the singular privilege of being the host of this event, and when I'm on stage doing this, I love to be addressed as His Royal Highness. Please get it right the first time, HRH, Africa's finest MC and events virtuoso. I welcome you to this ceremony. Please celebrate. I can see my CMD is trying to celebrate. Please put your hands together. Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right. So I welcome you most specially to this event. For us in the medical profession, this event is a solemn assembly. It is one where we reflect because these graduates are about to be inducted to become medical doctors, are about to take a huge responsibility upon their shoulders. As it is said, with great power comes great responsibility. And for these young men and women who are about to be inducted as medical and dental practitioners in Nigeria today, upon their shoulders rests a huge responsibility, taking care of the healthcare of a nation. We see you, the parents, guardians, family members, well-wishers, everyone who is here to celebrate. I met quite a number of you in the crowd. Mr. Abraham, I met the Soshayas, I met Usman, Isa, I met quite a number of you in the crowd. As you're here to celebrate, we congratulate you. We know that you're heaving a sigh of relief of coming to the end of one phase of the lives of your children, your wards, and the people you have come to celebrate. We welcome you to this celebration, and we welcome you to witness the way the Medical and Dental Council does it. As much as it's a celebration, we try to pass the message across of the great responsibilities these people will be carrying from here on. All right. I know that we have quite a number of important personalities who are here seated. As we receive your address, we will recognize you and we will ensure that we make the judicious use of your time here at this event. It's my privilege to be your host. As much as we convey the message of the importance of this responsibility, I will try to bring some color, albeit with respect, with honor. I will bring some color to this event for the next couple of hours while we're here. I'd like us to take the opening remarks for this event. I'd like to welcome the chairman of the occasion, who is the chair of the Medical and Dental Council. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the lectern, Professor F.E. Afolabi Lessie.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. A special guest of honor, coordinating minister, ably represented. Members, the chair of the House Committee, the registrar of the Medical and Dental Council, the CMD, of University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, our guest speakers this morning, management staff of MDCN, all distinguished invited guests, our inductees, parents, guardians, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, members of the press, print and electronic. This induction ceremony marks a significant milestone in the lives of our medical and dental practitioners about to be inducted. It is both an honor and a privilege to welcome our distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues, proud families, and members of the press. And most importantly, the inductees who stand at the threshold of a noble profession. Today represents not merely the culmination of years of rigorous academic and professional training, but the beginning of a solemn covenant with humanity, a lifelong commitment to service, to heal, and to uphold the dignity of human life. The success recorded at the assessment held in June this year at the University College Hospital in Ibadan, where 250 candidates emerged successful, comprising 238 in medicine and 12 in dentistry, is a testament to discipline, resilience, and intellectual rigor. Yet beyond this achievement lies a deeper responsibility. The conferment of the provisional license is not simply an endorsement of competence. It is an acceptance of an enduring obligation to protect life, preserve dignity, and uphold the trust reposed in the profession by society. As the inductees take the physician's oath, they formally enter a profession where knowledge must be guided by ethics and skills anchored in compassion. The code of medical ethics in Nigeria must therefore serve as a constant compass in your daily practice. While competence earns respect, it is integrity that sustains trust, an essential currency in the relationship between healthcare providers and patients. Every patient must be seen as a human being rather than a statistic. Every diagnosis carries emotional weight, and every clinical decision bears moral consequences. These realities demand not only technical proficiency, but also empathy, sensitivity, and a strong ethical foundation. In moments where knowledge may be challenged, ethics must lead. And where strength wanes, a sense of purpose must sustain the practitioner. The induction of these professionals comes at a critical juncture in Nigeria's healthcare evolution. The federal government, under the leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic, is advancing a transformative vision for the sector through the Renewed Hope agenda. This vision prioritizes universal health coverage, ensuring no Nigerian is left behind, while strengthening primary health care as the bedrock of national health outcomes. In addition, the agenda focuses on health workforce development and retention, reduction in medical tourism through enhanced local capacity, digital transformation of healthcare delivery systems, and improved financing and accountability. Healthcare in this context is not a privilege reserved for a few, but a fundamental right of all citizens and a profound responsibility for those entrusted with its delivery. Within this framework, the inductees occupy a central role. Policies, however, well designed, do not treat patients. It is the professionals that translate policy into impact. These professionals, therefore, become the human face of healthcare reform, the bridge between policy intentions and the lived realities of people. In the light of these expectations, inductees are called upon to embrace service beyond personal comfort, to uphold the highest ethical standards even in the absence of supervision, and to commit to lifelong learning in a field that is constantly evolving. These contributions must extend beyond individual practice to the broader strengthening of Nigeria's healthcare system. The true strength of the health system is not measured solely by infrastructure or equipment, but by the character, dedication, and professionalism of those who operate within it. As foreign trained graduates, the inductees bring valuable global exposure. However, excellence will ultimately be defined not by where you trained, but how effectively you serve within this local context. This calls for adaptability, innovation within resource restraints, mentorship of others, and a commitment to raising standards across the system. In doing so, you become agents of change, contributing meaningfully to national development. The profession into which these individuals have been inducted is one that demands sacrifice. It is characterized by long hours, difficult decisions, and moments of uncertainty. Yet, within these challenges, that the true essence of the profession is revealed. The oath you are taking today must serve as a guiding principle, reminding practitioners that their duty transcends personal convenience. This induction, therefore, is not an end point, but a commissioning into service, discipline, and national relevance. While perfection is not demanded, commitment, integrity, and a genuine spirit of service are non-negotiable expectations. As I conclude, on behalf of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, I give you heartfelt commendation to all inductees, sincere appreciation to parents and guardians who have made sacrifice to get you where you are today and who remain invested in your future. The council expresses confidence in your potential and entrusts you with a sacred responsibility. You are urged to practice with honor, serve with compassion, and lead with integrity. The future of Nigeria's healthcare system will in no small measure be shaped by the choices you make from this day forward. It is hoped that your careers will be impactful, your judgment sound, and your service memorable. I congratulate you. I thank you for your attention.
That was the chairman of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, the chairman of the occasion, Professor F.E. Afolabi Leshi. Please give him a round of applause. Appreciate him one more time. Thank you. Thank you. The chairman's remarks reminded the about to be sworn in medical doctors of the responsibility that lies upon their shoulders. For me, when I was graduating, it felt like the stages of a butterfly, you know, when the butterfly comes out and you see the radiant wings. That usually is the feeling for us as we get sworn in. But we would soon find out that upon our shoulders lies a huge responsibility. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned that we'll be recognizing a few people as they come into the hall. As we see them, we would recognize them and welcome them to the hall. We'd like to recognize and to welcome the chairman, Senate Committee on Health, the distinguished Senator, Dr. and Her Excellency Ikpalubo Hari Banigo. Please give her a round of applause. I saw her coming in. Good to see you, ma'am. You're welcome. You're welcome. We would like to recognize the heads of departments for the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. I'll run through this really quickly because these are the people who do the arduous work of ensuring that we maintain standards in our nation. Dr. Nameka Wakama, HOD Medical Education, Dr. Enejo Abdul, HOD Professional Discipline, Alhaji Oladokun, Director, HOD Admin and HR, Hajia Sekinat Mustafa, HOD Accounts, Dr. Tijani Ali Mandaka, the HOD Registration Department, and Hajia Rabiatu El Usman, Head of Legal Unit. Please give them all a round of applause, please. Appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We have also in our midst today, we're really honored to have the former Chief of Air Staff for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Air Marshal Siddiq Abubakar. Please give him a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. Pleased to have you. Thank you. We'd like to move to the next item on the agenda, which is a keynote address from our special guest of honor, the Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Mohammed Pate, CON, who is represented today by the Director and Head of Dentistry from the Federal Ministry of Health and Social Welfare. Let's welcome Dr. Gloria Uzo Igwe as she comes up.
The special guest of honor, ably represented, the registrar of MDCN, the CMD, a University Teaching Hospital, Abuja, the staff and management of staff of MDCN, the registrar, MDCN, and the chairman of the occasion, and other distinguished guests here present. May I stand on the existing protocols? So I now read the speech from the Minister of Health, Professor Ali Pate. It is with great pleasure that I join you today on this memorable occasion of the induction of a new cohort of foreign-trained medical doctors into this noble profession. This event is not just a mere ceremony. It marks the culmination of years of rigorous academic study, clinical training, sacrifice, resilience, and unwavering commitment. It is a solemn transformation. Students of medicine to professionals entrusted with sacred responsibility of preserving lives, alleviating sufferings, and promoting the health and well-being of our people. I warmly congratulate each and every one of you on this remarkable achievement. Your journey to this day was undoubtedly been demanding. It has required years of rigorous academic study, clinical training, discipline, sacrifice, resilience, and unwavering commitment. Your success is also a tribute to your parents, guardians, lecturers, mentors, and everyone who has supported you along the way. They deserve our heartfelt appreciation. Distinguished inductees, medicine is much more than a profession. It is a calling. Every patient you encounter will entrust you with what is often their greatest possession, their health, and sometimes their very lives. That trust must never be taken for granted. As you take the physician oath today, remember that competence alone is not enough. The Nigerian people expect doctors who are compassionate, ethical, accountable, and committed to excellence. They expect professionals who will uphold the dignity of every patient, regardless of age, gender, religion, ethnicity, economic status, or social background. It is pertinent to mention that you are entering the profession at a time when Nigerian healthcare is undergoing unprecedented transformation. advances in artificial intelligence, telemedicine, and digital health are redefining how healthcare is delivered. At the same time, our nation continues to confront challenges, including communicable and non communicable diseases, maternal and child mortality, mental health concerns, quality services to all Nigerians. We remain committed quality services to all Nigerians. We remain committed to improving training opportunities, enhancing workforce planning, supporting professional development, and creating an enabling environment where healthcare professionals can strive and contribute meaningfully to national development. I am aware that many young medical professionals face important career decisions, including whether to practice within or outside Nigeria. While we respect every individual's right to pursue personal and professional aspirations, I encourage you to view your skills as an invaluable national asset. Nigeria needs your knowledge, your energy, your innovation, and your commitment. As you embark on this journey, never compromise your professional integrity. Reject all forms of malpractice, negligence, and ethical conduct. Let honesty, humility, and empathy and respect define your practice. Remember always that the white coat you wear is not merely a symbol of knowledge, it is a symbol of trust, responsibility, and service. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria has, over the years, remained steadfast in ensuring that only competent, qualified, and ethical sound practitioners are admitted into the medical profession. I commend the Council for its unwavering commitment to maintaining standards of medical education, professional regulation, and patient safety in Nigeria. To the parents, guardians, and families present today, thank you for your sacrifices and unwavering support. Your investment has yielded professionals who will serve not only your families, but our entire nation. To the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, I commend your efforts as ensuring that competent medical professionals are produced. I urge you to continue strengthening regulatory standards while embracing innovation, quality assurance, and continuous improvement in medical education and professional practice. Finally, to the inductees, I wish to reiterate that today you have not just received a license to practice medicine, but a lifelong responsibility to uphold the highest ideals of profession. I enjoin you to wear your title with humility, exercise your authority with compassion, build your careers with integrity, and lead with excellence. May you become physicians who, who heal with both knowledge and kindness. Thank you, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
I know we can do better for the Honorable Coordinating Minister for Health represented today. Please, a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for that charge. I heard in those statements that medicine is more than a profession, it is a calling. And that's the reminder I would like to send to the new inductees today. Despite the challenges we face in our country, the minister himself, as we say in Nigeria, he jackpad and he jackpadad. He came back. So as you have come back, Nigeria is hoping and expecting that you bring your experience to improve our nation. Thank you again, Honorable Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare. Thank you. Just before we move further, I'd like to recognize one other important personality here with us today. We have the NMA President, Professor Dr. Ernest Omoti, who is represented by the second Vice President of the NMA, Dr. Chidiebere Okwara. Please, a round of applause for him. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome. Thank you for coming. We'd also like to recognize and to welcome the Nigerian Dental Association, who we have the president here, Dr. Emedom Elias. Please, Dr. Emedom Elias, give him a round of applause. You're welcome, sir. We would like to take a few goodwill messages from a few of our very important personalities who are here with us. I'll first of all like to welcome the Chairman, House Committee on Health Institutions. Let me welcome Honorable Amos Gwamna Magaji. Please give him a round of applause as he comes. You know, if you clap louder, he'll come faster.
Distinguished Senator Ipalibo Banigo, the Chairman, House Committee, Senate Committee on Health, the special guest of honor here represented, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, ably represented by Dr. Gloria Uzoigwe, the Chairman of the occasion, the Chairman of the Council, Professor Falabi Lesi, the Registrar of MDCN, Professor Fatima Kari, and the Deputy Registrars of this great institution, the guest lecturer here, Professor Dili Dogo, the distinguished guest speaker, Mr. Olusegun Adeni, parents, guardians, friends, and well-wishers of the inductees today, not forgetting our great former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq, and all the management and staff of MDCN, and the special inductees today here present, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is a great honor and privilege to join you today at this important pledge-taking ceremony for foreign-trained medical and dental graduates. This occasion marks not only a successful completion of your academic journey, but also your former commitment to the noble ideals of medical and dental professions. I warmly congratulate every inductee. Your achievement is a testament to your years of sacrifice, discipline, resilience, and hard work. Today, you join a profession that is entrusted with one of humanity's greatest responsibilities, the preservation of life and promotion of health. As you take this professional pledge, remember that medicine and dentistry are not merely careers, they are calling, founded on compassion, integrity, competence, and selfless service. Today's ceremony also reminds us of the critical role of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria in safeguarding the standards of medical and dental education and practice. As the statutory regulator of the profession, the Council continues to ensure that only qualified, competent, and ethically grounded practitioners are licensed to serve Nigerians. In an era of rapidly evolving healthcare challenges, strengthening regulation is not optional, it is indispensable. The House Committee on Healthcare Services remains committed to supporting legislative reforms that will strengthen professional regulation, enhance quality assurance, improve accreditation standards, promote patient safety, and ensure that every Nigerian receives quality health care irrespective of location, socioeconomic status. However, regulation alone is not enough. We must desperately build the capacity of our healthcare workers. This means investing in continuous professional development, expanding residency and specialist training opportunities, embracing digital health innovation, strengthening research, and creating an enabling environment where healthcare professionals can thrive. A well-trained and motivated worker is a backbone of every resilient healthcare system. Distinguished guests, one of the greatest challenges confronting our nation is the shortage of healthcare professionals. Nigeria continues to have a doctor-to-patient ratio that falls below the benchmark recommended by the World Health Organization. This shortage has been further worsened by the migration of skilled health workers to other countries in search of better opportunities. While every citizen has the right to pursue opportunities anywhere in the world, we must honestly acknowledge that our nation cannot build a strong healthcare system if our best talents continue to leave our shores. Every departing doctor or dentist widens the healthcare gap and places additional pressure on those who remain. To our newly inducted doctors and dentists, I therefore make a passionate appeal. Nigeria needs you. Your knowledge, skill, and international exposure are invaluable assets to our healthcare system. You have the opportunity to become part of the generation that transform healthcare delivery in our country. Your service can save lives, mentor future professionals, strengthen our institutions, and inspire hope in communities that desperately need quality health care. The government also has a responsibility. We must continue to improve health working condition of our health workers, invest healthcare infrastructure, enhance remuneration, strengthen welfare package, provide opportunities for career progression, and create an environment where healthcare professionals are respected, protected, and empowered to excel. These remain priority that we must continue to champion through legislative oversight and advocacy. As chairman of the House Committee on Healthcare Services, I assure you that the National Assembly will continue to support policy and laws that will strengthen healthcare financing, expand access to quality healthcare, improve human resource for health, and encourage local medical research and innovation, and create an enabling environment for healthcare professionals to fulfill their callings. Dear inductees, today you make a solemn pledge to place your patient welfare above personal interest, to uphold ethical standards, to maintain professional competence, and to serve humanity with dignity. Let this not be mere words recite during a ceremony, but a guiding principle throughout your professional lives. Be known not only for your clinical competence, but also your compassion. Let integrity define your practice, humility shape your leadership, and excellence distinguish your service. As you embark on this new chapter, may you become ambassador of professionalism, champion of ethical practice, and builder of a strong healthcare Nigeria. Once again, congratulations on this remarkable achievement. I wish you a fulfilled career, God guidance, and outstanding success as you begin this noble journey of service. God bless you and have a successful journey in this noble career. Thank you.
I know we can do better for the Chairman, House Committee on Healthcare Services, Honorable Amos Gwamna Magaji. Thank you so much. Came here with a charge to us, reminding us of the values that we uphold after we take this pledge right here at this event. Thank you again, sir. Thank you. We have one more goodwill message before we get to the meat of the matter. We would have a keynote address, after which we will be witnessing the inductees taking their oath right here. But I have the singular privilege and honor of welcoming to give her goodwill message the Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Her Excellency, Distinguished Senator and Medical Doctor, Dr. Ikpalubo Harry Banigo. Please give her a round of applause.
The special guest of honor, Honorable Minister, Coordinating Minister for Health and Social Welfare, here ably represented by the Director in the Department of Hospital Services, the Chairman of this occasion, and the Chairman of Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, the Registrar and CEO of MDCN, Honorable Member of the House of Representatives, my brother, my friend, the Chairman of the House Committee on Healthcare Services, and he's also the Secretary of the Joint Committee of Chairman of Committees in the National Assembly of the 10th Senate of the 10th National Assembly. That is Honorable Amos Magaji. The guest speaker and the guest lecturer, and of course, President of NMA and the President of NDA, and also the former Chief of Air Staff, parents, and other distinguished members of the high table, and also the MC, distinguished parents and guardians of our inductees, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor and privilege for me to be invited today to this swearing-in ceremony. I sincerely thank the management of this institution for this opportunity to share in such a significant occasion. To our newly inducted medical doctors, or who are going to be inducted, I warmly congratulate you on reaching this important milestone after the successful assessment conducted by the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria at the University College of Ibadan for foreign-trained medical and dental graduates. Today marks the beginning of your exciting journey as medical practitioners. I must tell you, it's a very exciting journey. And it's a life journey of opportunities to learn, to grow, and prepare yourselves for meaningful contributions to society as medical practitioners. Remember that success is earned through perseverance, determination, willingness to learn, and uphold the ethical standards of our great profession. As you begin this new chapter, I encourage you to embrace discipline, hard work, integrity, and excellence. Your years should be devoted not only to acquire knowledge, but also to build character, develop leadership skills, and form lifelong relationships. I wish to commend the Registrar and CEO and the management of MDCN for performing their constitutional mandate as the statutory regulatory body responsible for the regulation of medical and dental practice in Nigeria, and for maintaining professional standards, ethics, and discipline among medical and dental practitioners in the country. This ensures the provision of safe and effective healthcare services. And this induction today follows a harmonized procedural for both medical officers that study in the country and those that study abroad. I wish to congratulate you and congratulate your parents and your guardians for their commitment to nurturing this new generation of medical and dental doctors. As we celebrate today's achievements, let us look forward with strength and confidence. And I pray that Almighty God grants every one of you wisdom, good health, protection, and good success in all your future endeavors. Thank you. God bless MDCN. God bless the great Nigerian public. In Jesus' name.
That was the Chairman, Senate Committee on Health, Her Excellency, the distinguished Senator, Dr. Ipalibo Harry Banigo. Please give her yet another round of applause. Thank you. Thank you. The next item we have on our agenda would be welcoming our keynote address. And we'd like to take the citation of our guest speaker, which will be delivered by the Assistant Registrar and the HOD for registration for the Medical and Dental Council. Let me welcome up here Dr. Tijani Mandaka. Give him a round of applause, please. Encourage him, please. Encourage him. Let's be generous. Thank you.
The special guest of honor, Honorable Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, who is ably represented, the Chairman, Senate Committee on Health Institutions, the Chairman, House Committee on Healthcare Services, the Chairman of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, who is also the Chairman of this occasion, Professor Afolabi Leshi, the Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria and the Chief Executive Officer of the Council, Professor Fatima Kyari, the guest lecturer, Professor Dili Dogo, who is also my teacher when I was in the medical school. We normally call him the bloodless surgeon. I would like to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and thank you, sir. Without people like you, I wouldn't have been standing here today. Thank you, sir. I remain indebted to you. The guest speaker, the chairman, the chief medical director, University of Abuja Teaching Hospital, proud parents and guardians, ladies and well-wishers, ladies and gentlemen. At this point, may I kindly request our guest speaker, Mr. Olusegun Adeniyi, to please stand while I read his citation. Mr. Olusegun Adeniyi is a journalist, a writer, a former presidential spokesman. He's a fellow of Nigerian Academy of Letters and fellow of Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, who has written several books, including Power, Politics, and Debt, a front row account of Nigeria under the late President Musa Yar'Adua. He is currently the chairman of the editorial board of these day newspapers, where he writes a weekly column, The Verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, may I present to you our today's guest speaker, Mr. Olusegun Adeniyi, the chairman, editorial board of this day newspaper.
Thank you very much. The MC was asking me, how do I feel being among medical doctors? I say I'm also a native doctor. Representative of the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Health, Senator Banigo, Chairman of the House Committee on Health Services, Honorable Amos Magaji, Chairman of the MDCN, Professor Afolabi Leshi, the registrar and chief executive of MDCN, my own dear sister, Professor Fatima Kari, members of the MDCN Council and principal officers, the guest lecturer, Professor Dili Dogo, inductees and their parents, and let me especially recognize my brother, the former PAMSEC for Earth, Ablai Mashi. Let me also recognize the former chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me begin by congratulating every man and woman before me today who has earned the right to be inducted into the Register of Medical and Dental Practitioners in Nigeria. For me, this is a big deal. You train far from home in systems and cultures that are not your own, and you have returned to answer a call that many people your age is running away from. In a season when the standing conversation in every Nigerian household with a young doctor or dentist is about which direction the next flight out is headed, your presence here, seeking to be counted among practitioners licensed to serve Nigeria, deserves a national gratitude. Congratulations. Having been asked to speak on the use and abuse of social media in medical and dental practice, I want to begin by stating the obvious. Social media is neither a friend nor an enemy of the medical dental profession, or of any profession for that matter. It is an instrument. And like every instrument in the history of medicine, from the scalpel to the syringe, its value depends entirely on the hand that holds it and the discipline that guides that hand. Used well, it is a stethoscope that extends beyond your consulting room. Used carelessly, it is a scalpel that cuts the wrong way. We have come home at a very critical period. The workforce crisis in our health sector is not a secret to anyone in this hall. The doctor-to-patient ratio hovers close to one physician for every 5,000 people against the World Health Organization benchmark of 1 to 600. I am sure that every one of you being inducted today has already lived some version of that gap, whether as the overworked man or through the experience of a relative who could not reach a specialist in time. But here is the positive. Social media and the digital platforms built on it are already narrowing some of that gap in small but real ways. For instance, a well-run public health page can do more for antenatal care seeking in a single well-crafted post than a decade of poorly funded jingles. A dentist deploying Pidgin, Hausa, Igbo, or Yoruba on TikTok to explain why a decaying tooth needs a clinic and not a chisel from the roadside can save more smiles than 1,000 posters in health centers that nobody visits. But every gift of this kind arrives with its own shadow. In a December 2013 journal article on the United States Library of Medicine website titled Dangers and Opportunities for Social Media in Medicine, 3 medical practitioners, Daniel George, Lisa Rofniak, and Jennifer Kraspnek, made it clear that in the age that we are in, medical and dental practitioners cannot avoid the social media. And I quote them, a growing majority of modern patients, particularly those with chronic conditions, are seeking out social media and other online sources to acquire health information, connect with others affected by similar conditions, and play a more active role in their healthcare decisions. They wrote 13 years ago. One can only imagine the situation today. But they also added that these same tools, and I quote, have introduced profound questions about confidentiality, informed consent, public-private boundaries, professionalism, and other issues of ethical import for health professionals. End of quote. This then leads me to the few tips I want to leave with you this morning on what you should avoid in your usage of social media, because induction day is exactly the moment to hear them before habits adding into instinct. The first and gravest is the casual surrender of patient confidentiality. A striking wound, rare deformity, dramatic delivery, and successful surgery. All this can make compelling content, and the temptation to share them, even with faces blurred or for education, is real. But somewhere in the oath you are about to take is a promise about confidentiality that predates Hippocrates himself. Social media has not repealed that promise. It has only multiplied the ways of breaking it and the speed at which a breach now travels. So always bear this in mind. That patient's body and story belong first to the patient, not to your followers on social media platforms. The second abuse is the collapse of the boundary between the consulting room and the comment section of an online publication. Diagnosing and prescribing from a WhatsApp chat group or X thread, arguing a clinical case in the replies of a viral post. These are ordinarily harmless, but no matter the temptation, you must always bear this in mind. Each of these actions blurs a line that exists to protect the patient as much as the medical practitioner, and it becomes considerably harder to defend the day something goes wrong. The third is what I might call reputational contagion. Medicine and dentistry, unlike many other professions, are trusted as a collective. A single practitioner's poor judgment online can cause a huge reputational damage not only for them, but also for the entire profession. A careless joke about a patient's condition, a video that trades patient's dignity for views, or a public feud with a colleague conducted for an audience. All these rarely stay contained to that one account. They become unfairly but predictably evidence in the case some members of the public are always building against the entire medical and dental professions. For dentists in particular, I will add a caution about the trend I have watched globally. Cosmetic procedures, veneers, instant whitening, dramatic smile makeovers, and many of those in vogue procedures that are marketed with more attention to camera angles and background music than to clinical efficacy. Yes, aesthetic dentistry is a legitimate and growing field, but aesthetic dentistry practiced as influencer marketing ahead of proper assessment is not. None of what I have said thus far is theoretical. Around the world, regulators have had to strike practitioners off their registers over judgment exercised on social media, and there are many examples to cite. A surgeon who kept sharing patients' procedures for engagement despite repeated warnings until his license and reputation both gave way under a dozen lawsuits. An online personality who built a following of hundreds of thousands by posing as a licensed doctor, dispensing advice on cancer and fertility, only to be convicted of impersonation. These, of course, are the extreme cases, and I do not for a moment suggest that anyone in this hall is destined for such a tragic professional fate. But then, every extreme case begins with a smaller, more forgivable seeming decision. Currently circulating online is a TikTok video of a young female doctor taking camera around the walls of a private hospital that employed her and behaving like the star of a reality show before posting the content after resignation. That's how they all begin. The extreme cases are what happens when nobody says no to these small ones. Yes, I am aware that it is more financially rewarding to chase clouds than to save lives. But the latter is what you have chosen, and it is more ennobling. Please stay on your lane. You are fortunate in one respect. You arrive this job at a time your regulator has already prescribed the rules of engagement regarding the use of social media. In October last year, the MDCN issued a formal guidance on social media and responsible online conduct. I recommend it to every one of you as required reading, alongside the Code of Medical Ethics itself. Its logic is simple and, to my mind, unimpeachable. The standards of honesty, accuracy, confidentiality, and accountability that govern you in a ward or a surgery do not switch off when you switch on your phone. The council also left practitioners with one warning worth committing to memory. Your responsibility for what you post online does not expire when you delete it. A private post can turn public. A deleted post can resurface as a screenshot years later. The internet, unlike memory, rarely forgets on command. Let me leave you then with a handful of habits I will urge you to carry from this all into your practice. First, if you consider it of public interest to post anything about a patient, ask for their consent. If the answer is no, the story stays untold. Second, not every provocation or viral claim you disagree with deserves a response, especially if they do not directly concern you or the institution you represent. Third, build a name, not a following, which, as we all know, can be bought, gamed, or lost overnight to our algorithms whim. What endures is the reputation that makes a stranger say, "Ask that dentist. I hear he or she is thorough and honest." That kind of reputation is built offline, and it is the currency that lasts. Fourth, extend to your colleagues online the same you would extend across a hospital corridor. Disagree, if you must, with the silence or the judgment of another practitioner, but do not attempt anything that will take away their dignity. Lastly, use whatever reach you build for something larger than yourself. Before I take my seat, it is perhaps important to also look at another side of this malaise. Increasingly, medical practitioners are also becoming targets. No fewer than 30 resident doctors were assaulted across Nigeria within the last year, according to the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors, which has started 21 assault cases. Only 5 of the cases have made it to court, and only 1 assailant has been convicted. I am almost certain that most of these cases can be traced to a pattern of public harassment and trial by hashtag that some of your colleagues have faced online, often before facts are established and sometimes long after they have been settled in the practitioner's favor. A profession that policies itself honestly through its proper disciplinary channels should not also have to submit to this sort of barbarism. That is perhaps why I must make this final point. You are entering this profession at a moment when public trust in our national institutions is rather thin and hard won. And you have spent years far from home. Any the letters that will now follow your names. Carry the white coat's obligations into every space you occupy, including the small, bright one in your pocket that never quite switches off. But please, I've helped you to build. Once again, congratulations to every inductee gathered here today. Use social media platform wisely and welcome home. Nigeria needed you before you left and needs you even more now that you have returned. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you all.
I know we can do better for our guest speaker right here, Mr. Olusegun Adeni, the chairman this day, editorial board. You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much. There were so many nuggets for us to pick from what he has shared. In a summary, I can say that his speech today is the meeting point between you and I as health professionals and the general public when we meet in the media, especially social media. There's so much to pick from. Social media is neither a friend when it's used well nor an enemy. It's a help. It can be a stethoscope. It can be an extension of your consulting room. And when it's used wrongly, it could be a scalpel that cuts carelessly. Thank you so much, sir. There's so much to glean from and to learn. And the charge here to all the new inductees is to know that health is wealth. As much as you may not have naira and kobo, silver and gold, let's not denominate every value just by wealth of money, but health itself is wealth, and that's the charge that he has given us today as we have chosen this profession to go on with. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we will move further. We're taking yet another lecture, and I would dare say that this is going to be a lot more scientific than this that was a little more social, but I'm sure it will be relatable nonetheless. I'd like to welcome to present the citation of our guest lecturer, the Deputy Registrar and the HOD for Professional Discipline for the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, one whom I am privileged that I trained in the same institution with him. I'm talking about the University of Jos. Let me welcome Dr. Let me welcome Dr. Enajo Abdul as he comes up to deliver this citation. Please clap for him. Great Josite as he comes up here.
The distinguished Senator Ipalibo Banigo, Chairperson, Senate Committee on Health, Honorable Member, House of Reps, Amos Magajigomna, Chairman, House Committee on Health Services, the Coordinating Minister of Health, ably represented by the Director of Dentistry, Federal Ministry of Health, the Chairman of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Professor Leshi, the Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, the guest speaker, and the guest lecturer. I crave your indulgence to stop on the protocols and abide by what has already been laid out. While doing that, I will crave your indulgence to recognize the very senior member of the profession here, Dr. Ipalibo Banigo. Thank you, Ma. She has kept so well, so you may not realize how long she has served the profession. She's been a doctor for 50 years. Thank you, Ma. There are not many people who have lived up to 50 years here. So you can think of that. Thank you for your service, Ma. Yes. I'm reading a brief introduction. This is not his citation, it's his introduction of Dr. Dilidogo, Professor of Surgery. I request you to stand, sir. This is the first time in a long time that I'll find a doctor that is senior to him at a gathering that he attends. So fortunately for me, you are the guest speaker, so I still recognize you, sir. Professor Dilidogo Fellow, Nigeria Academy of Medicine, Distinguished Fellow of the Nigerian Medical College, is a distinguished surgeon, renowned medical educator, and a transformational university administrator. He is the Vice Chancellor of the Nile University of Nigeria, where he has driven remarkable institutional growth, academic excellence, and innovation in medical education. I have stated earlier that he's a professor of surgery and he's a specialist surgeon. He has held numerous national and international leadership roles and championed healthcare and postgraduate medical training. He remains widely respected for his integrity, visionary leadership, mentorship, and enduring contributions to education, medicine, and national development. We at the MDCN are particularly grateful to him for all he has contributed. I present to you Professor Dili Dogu as the guest lecturer.
Thank you, MC. Chairman of the occasion and also Chairman Medical and Dental Council, I would ordinarily crave your indulgence to stand on the existing protocols. But because of the nature of this gathering, especially where I find my elders, both in the profession and within the congregation, I will still want to repeat some aspects of the protocol, especially that we have the likes of the Chairman Senate Committee on Health, Dr. Banigos, in our midst. Let me also recognize the representative of the Honorable Minister of Health. I also want to recognize and acknowledge the presence of the Chairman House Committee on Health. I also want to recognize the indefatigable Registrar of the Medical and Dental Council for what she has done and is doing for medicine and medical practice here in Nigeria. Let me also respectfully recognize members of the High Table, as I especially recognize one of the most charismatic and responsible and respectful leaders we've had in this country. Somebody that naturally is unassuming, the former Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. He's somebody that to those of us who are old enough would recognize and again look at it with nostalgia, the service he's done to this country. The services he's done to this country didn't start after his appointment as Chief of Air Staff. I remember 1993, when petrol became an essential commodity, when you have to spend 3 and 4 days on the line to get petrol. I was a very young consultant surgeon that works round the clock, 24 hours, and I'll just walk to him in his house and tell him my car has no petrol, and he'll give me a slip to go and collect that essential commodity. I still have one of the slips for 20 liters of petrol. I kept it for posterity because perhaps this generation might not realize what this country have gone through. Sir, we are deeply grateful for the service you've done to this country. I also want to recognize our parents, our invited guests, and especially the inductees of today. To me, as a medical practitioner, to me as a surgeon, welcoming these young ones to this special event gives me a lot of happiness, especially at a time when medical immigration is eroding the very fabrics of medical practice in Nigeria. Yes, I remember the distinguished journalist did say that money is not everything, but money can change a lot. Money can change people's thinking. Money can, in fact, create the greatest problem people fear. Because by the time we have no doctors in this country, it is a huge problem. I remember in 1986, when I went for a residency program, at the peak of austerity program, austerity, in the great UCH, in departments of surgery, at one point we were left with only 2 consultants. Everybody has gone to Saudi Arabia. At that time, even basic necessities of medical practice were lacking. I remember practicing as a plastic surgeon, then senior registrar. I had to innovate a skin hook using syringe and needle because things were not available. So welcoming you to this profession gives us a lot of hope that despite the dislocation in the medical profession to greener pastures, this country still have hope. Let me start by expressing my gratitude to the Medical and Dental Council for asking me to be a guest lecturer at this special occasion. Somebody will ask, what is the difference between a guest speaker and a guest lecturer? All of them are speakers. But when the guest speaker rose up to motivate you on topical issues that concerns your future and the future of Nigerians, the guest lecturer's job is to guide you in in-depth understanding of some of the things to expect in the journey in this profession. So my lecture may be boring because it's largely going to be about medicine and medical practice. It's not about social media and political dispensation. It is about your future and what is expected of you by not only Nigerians, but humanity at large. So I'm happy that the topic given to me is one topic that is straightforward, but at the same time challenging. And it's captioned medical practice in the 21st century. Forget about the spelling of medical. You know, sometimes social media have changed a lot of things, so we blame it on social media. But we'll be talking about challenges and opportunities ahead, especially for the young doctors that are going to be inducted today. I just want us to look at one of the greatest people that have lived on, I don't know where, I don't know. So, okay. So, if you remember Neil Armstrong, after landing on an unexpected planet, looked at himself and said, it's a small step for man, but one giant leap for humanity. Today, I want to tell the young inductees that the journey of learning and the huge aspirations of becoming doctors might be actualized today. But I want to tell you that this is just the beginning. And I also want to encourage you that what is happening today is a giant leap for mankind. So don't underestimate yourselves. Let me seize the opportunity to appreciate your parents that have given you every support to be at where you are today. I'm privileged to be one of those who had the privilege of assessing you before the induction. And I'm pleased to say that a lot of you are deeply prepared for the journey ahead. Anytime I have the opportunity to speak to medical doctors, because I teach ethics, because I believe ethics is the foundation of medicine, I always want to remind them of where we came from and the way ahead. And one of the most important aspects of medical practice is the desire at a point that there must be rules and regulations guiding the practice of medicine. And it was ascribed to the greatest Greek physician, Hippocrates, and it was called the Hippocratic Oath. I want to take us along the journey of what the actual Hippocratic Oath was and where we are today and what you will be asked to recite today. A lot have changed. As a young doctor in the 80s, one of the challenging things I found was that patients were patients. Patients were patient. In the 21st century, and indeed now, patients are no longer patient. You have to get that one clear. And in the days of social media, it is even more complex. Ethics will be interrogated within context and out of context. It will be interpreted within political connotations and within human expectations. Therefore, as we get inducted today, I want you to understand that medicine today has become one of the most interrogated professions. The doctor is judged for his actions and inactions. Nobody cares about the social challenges the doctor passed, but everybody cares about whether he survives his actions or not. So I just want to take all doctors sitting in this hall, because when I had a lecture on ethics at the National Postgraduate Medical College, one professor walked to me and told me, Professor Dogo, I'm surprised. This is the first time I'm getting to see this. And it is important, because if we know where we are coming from and where we are, we can understand some of the challenges we face as a profession. I'm going to be brief, but I'm going to be deep at the same time. The original Hippocratic Oath says this. It was a swearing, not to man, but to God. And that is why the medical profession is a calling. And when you are called, you have to make sure that you follow it through. Otherwise, it has consequences for failure. He says, I swear by Apollo the physician and Asclepius and Hygeia and Panacea and all the gods and goddesses as my witness, that according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and contract. What you have after this induction between you and patient is a contract. It's not just a social gathering. It is not just this one is a patient. It's not that I have things to do, it's a contract. And this contract says that to hold him who taught me this art equally dear to me as my parents, to be a partner in life and him, and to fulfill his needs when required, to look upon his offspring as equals to my own offsprings, and to teach them this art if they shall wish to learn it, without fee or contract. And that by set rules, lectures, and to students and a mood of instructions, I will impart knowledge of this art to my own sons and those of my teachers, and to students bound by this contract. And having sworn to all this, to the law of medicine, but to know others. Now, what that means is that medicine before was largely a cult. It is a group of people called to do that job. Medicine, like native doctors, was in such a way that you transfer the knowledge to your children. And it's expected that those who acquire the knowledge keep transferring with their group. A lot of change since then. But I will continue. He says, I will use those dietary regimens which will benefit my patients according to my greatest ability and judgment. I will do no harm or injustice to them. I will not give a lethal drug to anyone if I'm asked, or I will advise such a plan. And similarly, I will not give pessary to a woman to cause abortion. He said, in purity and according to divine law, I will carry out my life and my art. I will not use the knife, even upon those suffering from stones, but I will leave it to those who are trained for this art. Today, you see a gynecologist removing appendix. You see a surgeon doing craniotomy, general surgeon. You practicing in the 21st century must realize that the job ahead is huge. And that's why I want to remind you of all this. It says, into whatever homes I go, I will enter them for the benefit of the sick, avoiding any voluntary act of impropriety or corruption, including the sedition of women or men, whether they are free or slaves. This last aspect is very important. He said, whatever I see or hear in the lives of my patients, whether in connection with my professional practice or not, which ought not to be spoken for outside, I will keep secret as considering all things as private. Privacy, 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 privacy remains the hallmark of medical practice. I'm happy that we had a lecture on social media. Be careful how to handle it. It can be the source of a huge albatross. But the last aspect is what I want us all to see. And perhaps we need to ask us why medical practice today has become one of the most interrogated. It says, so long as I maintain the oath faithfully and without corruption, may it be granted to me to partake of life fully and the practice of my art, gaining the respect of all men for all time. But, however, should I transgress this oath and violate it, may the opposite be my fate. I tell my younger colleagues that as a young doctor, anytime I go to the market, a bag of semovita was 3 naira. They would give me a 3 naira 50 kobo, 10 kg bag. A kg of meat was 50 kobo. They will give me a 25 kobo because I'm a doctor. When I try to cross the main road and put my telescope around my neck, taxi drivers will jam their brake that a medical doctor is crossing the road. Today, try it. If they are sure you're a medical doctor, a taxi driver going at 50 kilometers per hour goes immediately to 150 so that you don't have a chance. Why is this so? It is so because we have violated the oath that formed the foundation of medical practice. When I was young, everybody in the hospital setup respects the medical doctor. Today, every other health professional sees the doctor as the problem. Doctors have a role to provide not just leadership. Doctors have a role to make sure that they remain as role models. I don't know. Also, I don't want to take your time looking at the contemporary one that was declared at the World Medical Association 1948, because today you are going to be inducted. So you will be taken through, in fact, a more refined version. Please, can you not? Okay. We'll move these ones and move to something else because I want us also to look at where he came from. Medical training is the benchmark of excellent medical practice. Without training whatsoever, think you know, I want to assure you that you don't know anything yet. What has been given to you is a foundation that will help you develop the art and practice of medicine. And in the course of this journey, what will be required of you is a continuous learning process. But I just want to remind us that orthodox training was intended to prepare the medical practitioner to systematically be able to make diagnosis and provide solutions. That was through information extraction, either by history taking, examination, differential diagnosis, investigations, final diagnosis, treatment, as well as prognosis. But the question we must ask ourselves, since we are talking about medical practice in the 21st century, the question is, what is medical practice? Medical practice is a business, or in fact a facility where doctors and other health workers treat patients. I want to emphasize the word other health workers because the medical doctors do not work as an island, and I want us to recognize that. Then thereafter, we should ask ourselves, who is a medical practitioner? A medical practitioner is a licensed professional authorized to diagnose, treat, and prevent illnesses and other physical or mental impairments. And that is why we are here today. And as authorized medical practitioners, you will be expected to work through an ecosystem called the healthcare ecosystem. The healthcare ecosystem is a complex one. Before, many years ago, the doctor actually stands as the pivot around which every aspect of medical practice revolves. Today, it is a big ecosystem of physicians, pharmacists, hospital practitioners, clinicians, public health physicians, long-term care physicians, short-term care physicians, pharmacy benefit assistants, and a lot more. So as leaders of the profession, as you work in the ecosystem, you'll be expected to show true leadership if you have to achieve what you intend to achieve. Now, coming to the topic, 21st century medical graduate. I just put up that slide to remind us that this is like your graduation day into true medical practice. And as you look up to your who's going to the air, as you look at the skies, I want to assure you that beyond the skies is your limit. But beyond the sky comes with a lot of challenges. And I want you to look at what the future hospital may look like. I don't know if I ask anybody, he can tell me what that one actually is. It's full of expectations, full of uncertainties, and full of challenges and opportunities. If you look at there, you find AI there. Those are the things that will drive the future. Next slide. So, I just want to let you know that the future of medical practice is going to be knowledge-based and it's going to be technology-driven. Are you ready for that? Yes, we just have to. I just put up that slide for you to look at skills at the center. A poorly skilled doctor in the 21st century will not survive because all your attention, action, inaction will be interrogated. Therefore, look for skills as if your life depends on it. A medical doctor in the 21st century will be seen as a person who actually have to get it right. I'm a surgeon, and as a surgeon, we have zero tolerance for any mistake. Yet we make mistakes. Because if a patient dies on the medical ward, because the doctor did not touch the patient, it's like seen as an act of God. But once a patient is in the theater room, even if it is the anesthetist who was trying to put the patient to sleep and the patient dies, nobody remembers the anesthetist. It is Dr. Dogu who was operating the patient and the patient died. They forget about God, they look at you. I want you to understand this, that the future requires a lot of skills. And how can we get these skills? There are a number of ways you can acquire the skills. And one of the aspects is through medical simulation. Sorry, the remote control is not working very well. Even the MC is having difficulties operating it. I thought it was MC specific. So, medical simulation in the 21st century had assumed a position that whether you like it or not, you have to live with it. Because the future is wrought with expectations. The future does not leave you with any room to make mistakes. They want you to get it right anytime you operate. Therefore, continuous learning becomes the challenge. I visited a 14,000 bed hospital in China. And out of that, there was an added building of 2,000 bed simulation center. 2,000 bed. And what that means is that you cannot go to the theater to do anything without passing through a simulation room and completing a simulation session. Because if you fail, there are consequences. And simulations, of course, may refer to procedural simulation like surgery. It may look at, examination like standardized patients, and even virtual reality. But simulation, training, 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 training is the future of medical practice if you have to survive. Is this still working? And there are a lot of ways doctors can reach their patients in the 21st century. Of course, the bedrock remains the hospital or healthcare ecosystem. But we also are privileged to make sure that telemedicine and telesurgery finds place in today's and future practice. Telesurgery gives a lot of opportunities. You can operate remotely using the console or using the robotic chart. The robotic chart will be the only thing around the patient. You can be anywhere in the world and you'll be able to operate. And when you do this, you need a lot of telecommunication. In an era or in a place where the networks are unstable, 1 second failure of the internet can have huge consequences. But again, the future of medicine is bright because it provides access to those who ordinarily may not have access to medical care. Imagine somebody living in the village where there's no standard hospital, there's no specialist, and yet requires care. This provides opportunities for that. Another aspect is robotic surgery. And what a robotic surgery does is to allow human surgeons to use computer-controlled robotic arms to perform precise, minimally invasive operations. Also, you need a surgeon's console and a patient side cut and movement translators to get it right. And the good thing with robotic surgery is the level of precision. Most often, the precision is almost 99%. And like I said, the future of medicine does not give room for failures. So I want to stimulate you this morning that you need to unlearn, relearn, unlearn, and relearn until you get it well. Again, we are gradually leading to the world of AI. I listened to one of the greatest AI inventor who believes in AI. And I'm sure I don't want to mention names, but everybody knows him. He was a politician that supported Trump actively. Shortly after that, he went back to business to keep his business going. But he said by 2030, AI will take over most of human activities. Should that scare us? The answer is no. The important thing is there are certain things that AI does not have. Empathy, for instance, it doesn't exist. And one of the bedrock of medical practice is that you have to be not just empathetic, but also empathetic. But AI provides us with a lot of opportunities. It gives us opportunities to have faster and accurate diagnosis. It gives us improved treatment recommendations through data-driven calculations, and also helps us to get it right. So you can see the future. I've tried to present it in a diagrammatic fashion. Sorry, the MC is still struggling to get it right. Good. But if you look at it, you need state-of-the-art robots, you need visual perceptions. It helps you to plan your task. It also uses big data to make sure that you get things right. And above all, what you get from AI is better treatment safety. Next slide. I want us to look at the advantages and challenges of remote surgery and medicine. The advantages are huge. One said that, in fact, it democratizes healthcare. In other words, the poor in the villages can have access to healthcare. I don't know how long it will take us to get there here in Nigeria because there is no network. And even the common infrastructure to divide this does not exist. But it will come. And with the caliber of politicians we have in this country, Nigeria stands a bright future of benefiting from everything that is technology driven. Again, it gives you improved surgical precision as well as global telementoring. In other words, you can stay here in Nigeria and be taught by the best of the best anywhere in the world because knowledge is going to be everywhere. And that is why if the world and humanity decide to hold us as doctors accountable, they have every reason to, because everything that should make you succeed should be available. And AI will support you. But are there challenges? Yes, there are challenges. I started by saying there's what is called network latency. Latency is latency. Latency is just, maybe just 1 or 2 seconds. In our own country, I think absence of network, not just latency. You can have a whole day without network. In other words, that day there will be no surgery. That day there will be no practice. These days, drones are delivering drugs as to where they are needed, whether there's road there or not, whether there's flight there or not. But there are also regulatory and legal frameworks or challenges associated with this. Our learned colleague spoke a lot about social media. These are things we need to look at carefully. Another issue is cost of putting the infrastructure to drive this kind of advanced, futuristic medical practice. It is hoped that with all we have, there will be improved skills. And skills, where there are skills gaps, no matter what infrastructure is in place, will not be able to compete and utilize the full benefits of technology that is supposed to enhance efficiency and service delivery. Another important area is precision medicine. Most people, are now looking for an era where treatment is supposed to be personalized, it's supposed to be preventive, it's supposed to be predictive, and it's supposed to be participatory, meaning that the patient has a say as to what kind of treatment he gets and how it is done. I spoke to a patient a few days ago with cancer of the breast. So she went to the hospital and they gave her a lot of information. Meanwhile, she have read so many things on the internet, social media again, about breast cancer. So at the end, what was there was confusion. So she walked to my office and I tried to guide. I said, I will prefer this. Before, when the word patient was coined, the patient is a patient, he has no say. He is at the mercy of the doctor. Now patients will have a say. They will decide what they want and how they want it. And precision medicine should also give us that. Another important evolving area is genomic medicine. And genomic medicine actually is going to use individuals' own genetic and genomic informations to guide clinical care, diagnostic decision making, and the use of targeted therapy. Of course, targeted therapy is all out there already, but a lot is coming and a lot will come. Diseases and treatment will be much better. Success and prognosis will be much better. But again, one important thing is skills. All of us medical doctors here are required to reskill. Where we have learned the wrong habits, we have to unskill and reskill to be able to do what is expected of us. And applications for genomic medicine will be found in oncology, pharmacogenomics, and in the field of rarer diseases. AI will help you identify the way forward using big data and so on and guide you accordingly so that most of these diseases that currently we may not have definitive care for, perhaps will have a future cure through genomic medicine. Now, before I end this presentation, I would like to take us through future of medical practice. I want to assure you that the future is bright for the medical profession. The future is bright for humanity, and the future is bright for all of us. The opportunities are huge because there will be unlimited knowledge access. So if you want to learn, if you want to practice, the opportunities will exist. Also, there will be diverse, detailed diagnostic options for you to choose from. Most of the treatments we are having these days are limited. Some actually may not end up giving us the expected result, but those are the things we have. It is believed that in the future of medicine, there will be a lot of options that are all, in fact, going to give us the expected outcome. Also, precise treatment and planning can be done. Targeted and precise therapy can be achieved, as well as better treatment outcome and, of course, better work environment. But are there some challenges? Certainly, with every good thing, with every technology, there are challenges. One of the challenges will be ethical and regulatory challenges, which every doctor has to be conversant with. Some of the things we do today and may be forgiven by the patients may not be forgiven tomorrow. In fact, you may lose your whole 20 years income in just one day for failing to get it right. So you need to understand what is expected for you and practice within the context of regulatory rules and challenges and ethics. Also, we need appropriate infrastructure. This is still lacking here. The government is working hard. Perhaps one day we'll get there. Power challenges in developing countries remain another issue, as well as internet and communication. But there are, of course, new and emerging clinical entities that will require new training, new skills that can deal with these issues. I want to, again, seize this opportunity to congratulate all those who are here today for today's induction. And I want to tell you that beyond the sky is the limit. Come into the profession with hope, walk through the profession with confidence, and be the star you are meant to be. Thank you, and God bless you.
The Vice Chancellor, Nile University, our guest lecturer, Professor Dili Dogo. Please give him another round of applause. Highlighting the opportunities that our new inductees have ahead of them, taking a peek into the future of medicine, and making reference to the technology that's available to you and I And that's the challenge for you, to see how you continue to improve the profession, improve the outcomes, improve access to healthcare, get better diagnosis at the end of the day. Please, I want you to spare your hands for one more round of applause for our guest lecturer, Professor Dilly Dogo. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we're slowly coming to the moment that you have all gathered and been waiting for. We're almost at that point where we'll be listening to the new doctors taking their pledge right here. And I think we're actually at that point already. The administration of the physician's pledge, the affirmation of the pledge, and presentation of certificates and licenses to the new practitioners. And this will be done by the registrar and the chief executive officer of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Please, I want you to welcome her, Professor Fatima Kari. Give her a round of applause as she comes.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I wish to be permitted to stand on the already established protocol. Thank you very much. The Honorable Coordinating Minister, ably represented, distinguished senator, and our most senior doctor in the House, Her Excellency, Senator Ipalibo Banigo. Thank you very much for here. And distinguished speakers, the Honorable Amos Magaji of the National Assembly House of Representatives, and former Chief of Staff, we recognize you, sir. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my job is simple. All the works and what is expected of doctors has been said. And I'll just say it is a privilege to belong to this profession. Medicine is not great by intellect alone. It is made great by humanity. With the kind permission of the chairman, please, can the inductees stand up? Inductees, can you please stand up? It is our tradition that we don't call you doctors until we induct you. So, as long as you're in this room today, I am the only person that can make you be called doctors. Please, I'd like you to raise your right arm, and you're going to repeat after me. We have both medical and dental professions here with us. So when I say medical or dental, you just see which one you are. So we're going to take the physician's pledge. As a member of the Medical or dental profession,
as a member of the medical profession,
I solemnly pledge
I solemnly pledge
to dedicate my life to the service of humanity,
to dedicate my life for the service of humanity,
the health and well-being of my patients
the health and well-being of my patient
will be first consideration.
will be first consideration.
I will respect
I will respect
the autonomy and dignity of my patient.
the autonomy and dignity of my patient.
I will maintain
I will maintain
the utmost respect for human life.
the utmost respect for human rights.
I will not permit
I will not permit
considerations of age,
consideration of age,
disease or disability,
disease or disability,
creed,
creed,
ethnic origin, gender,
gender,
nationality,
nationality,
political affiliation,
political affiliation,
race,
race,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
social standing,
social standing,
or any other factor
or any other factor
to intervene between my duty and my patient.
to intervene between my duty and my patient.
I will respect
I will respect
the secrets that are confided in me
the secrets that are confided in me
even after the patient has died.
even after the patient has died.
I will respect,
I will respect,
I will practice my profession
I will practice my profession
with conscience and dignity
with conscience and dignity
and in accordance with good medical practice.
and in accordance with good medical practice.
I will foster the honor
I will foster the honor
and noble traditions of the medical profession.
and noble tradition of the medical profession.
I'll give to my teachers,
I will give to my teachers, colleagues,
and students
and students
the respect and gratitude that is their due.
the respect and gratitude that is their due.
I will share my medical knowledge
I will share my medical knowledge
for the benefit of the patient
for the benefit of my patient
and the advancement of health care.
and the advancement of healthcare.
I will attend to my own health,
I will attend to my own health,
well-being,
well-being,
and abilities
and abilities
in order to provide care of the highest standard.
in order to provide care of higher standard.
I will not use my medical knowledge
I will not use my medical knowledge
to violate human rights
to violate human rights
and civil liberties,
and civil liberties,
even under threat.
even under threat.
I make these promises
I make these promises
solemnly,
solemnly,
freely, and upon my honor.
and upon my honor.
So, my dear colleagues, my dear doctors, you're welcome to the profession of medicine and dentistry. We're now going to take the Nigeria attestation. And you repeat after me. When I say I, doctor, then you say I, Dr. Kiari. You say your name. Okay? So we go now. I, doctor,
I, Dr. Musolo Abraham Chizoba,
Ibrahim Kab Mijinyo,
do sincerely and solemnly declare
do sincerely and solemnly declare
that as a registered medical or dental practitioner of Nigeria,
that as a registered medical dental practitioner of Nigeria,
I shall exercise the several parts of my profession
I shall exercise the several parts of my profession
to the best of my knowledge and ability
to the best of my knowledge and ability
for the good,
for the good,
safety,
safety,
and welfare
and welfare
of all persons
of all persons,
committing themselves to my care and attention,
committing themselves to my care and attention,
and that I will faithfully obey
and that I will faithfully obey
the rules and regulations
the rules and regulations
of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria
of the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria
and all other laws
and all other laws
that are made for the control of medical and dental professions in Nigeria.
that are made for the control and medical
and dental professions in Nigeria.
I hereby affirm the oath I have taken.
Hereby I affirm the oath that I have taken.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Dear colleagues, you're welcome home. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, here are your newest doctors in Nigeria. And you're once again welcome to the noble profession of medicine and dentistry. In your packs this morning, I put 2 books. One of them is the code. Doctors, I'm going to want to be the one again to make you perform one of the first duties as a doctor. You know where you came from, where you trained, your university? They gave you an enabling environment to excel in your studies. And your teachers provided the time and expertise to train you, to extract the best in you, and to prepare you for your future in your careers of medicine and dentistry. We also know that you were supported by parents and guardians for their dedication and support and crucial role in your successes and all the prayers and financial contributions they have given you. So doctors, today we're going to show gratitude to all who have helped us in this journey. So as your first role, doctors, at the count of 3, you take a bow in recognition of those supports. 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Mr. Chairman, sir, here are your doctors. Thank you.
Doctors, please be seated. So I want to just give you a minute for you to express the joy in your heart. If you want to clap, please clap. If you want to scream, just do it for a bit. Aha. Congratulations to all the doctors, the chairman, sir, the registrar. Before the event, I was able to engage a few of them just before this event started. And I was pleased to meet Pamela, who trained in Russia. I was pleased to meet the Aminu Bello family, who have a doctor who trained in Uganda. I was also pleased to meet the Abraham Jesubi, who his daughter trained in Ukraine. And I also saw Dr. Usman Issa Dodo, who trained in Sudan. And I was pleased to meet a neurosurgeon who trained in the United States but wants to practice in Nigeria, Dr. Horton. Dr. Horton, where are you? Even the chairman wants to see you. That's right. Great. Congratulations. At this point in time, we would like to receive a response from the inductees. I don't know who has been earmarked to represent all of you to come up and deliver a response. Is that you? Oh, fantastic. Please encourage her. Can we clap for their parents? Now they can be called Maman Doctor, Baban Doctor. Give them a round of applause, please. You tell us your name, and then you can go ahead with your speech.
I am the newly inducted Dr. Aisha Rabiu Angabi people. So, the representative of various ministries here present, the Chief Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, our dedicated registrar, all protocols duly observed. To the newly inducted doctors in this hall, I need a big something sound. I want you to say, we made it, alhamdulillah, we made it. Okay? Then I want to continue with word of thanks, starting with to God. So my colleagues, I want us to know that it's not by what our parents have or the titles they hold. Many that are more than our parents want their children to have this occupation that we have, but they don't. So let's put it in mind that it is not us that will help us deliver what we are expected to deliver. And then I would like to go on with parents, starting with mine. Baba, Umma, may my God be with you always. Thank you for always putting us first. And to all parents that are here present, we all know you pray for us before yourselves. You once had a life until you had us, then our lives becomes yours. I want you to know that you are always in our hearts. Your priorities are ours. We want to make you proud. We want the world to know that our parents are the best. A big one to our parents, please. The next thank you goes to MDCN. Thank you for raising us. Thank you for making us acknowledge that we need to study more and we need to stand for this country. And thank you for making sure that we really know what we are doing by the MDCN exam. I declare it the hardest exam of my life. Thank you for making us win that. Okay? Thank you to everyone here present that organized us and made this event possible. I want to proceed with mentioning a few words to my colleague. I want you first to know something about this profession, to be intentional about the profession. The first thing I want you to have is something in mind that will keep you into it. From the speeches we had, it's a difficult one. It's a place you wouldn't want to be in. So now that we are there, have an intention that will keep you. You're going to be broke. You're going to be overworked. It's going to be a lot. Have something that will keep you there. The next thing is patience. Patience is required in each and every step of life. Some patients would disrespect you. You might be insulted from seniors. Keep that aside. Take it. It's time. One day they will not be able to do that. And then you have to be endurance is also a key because there are going to be nights. The patient load, as we know of now, is so much. So endurance is key. And I want you to put in mind that this is not the end of it. Maybe after this, we'll do our service with the MOs. That is not the end of our profession. It's hard here in Nigeria, we all know. But make sure that anywhere you are, like you're continuing in terms of rank. From here, when you finish, already have primaries in mind. When you finish start primaries, after that, what goes beyond that? So be progressing in the profession. This is just the start. I typed it in my social media handle that level 1 is cleared, next level coming. So you, Tamam, all of us should have that in mind. The next thing is for you to have a side hustle, as we know the pay. Yeah, we know the country, I mean. I have a spices and cheese company, and trust me, I came with it to my induction because we need a side hustle. Amila Spices and Cheese, people on media, get us to that. I also want you people to be patient. Lastly, I would want to go in with what medical and council had taught me to know. From this training, we all know to love each other, to be a family. And in the course of that, we became so strong in bond that we see ourselves as brothers and sisters. After passing the exam, we were to be inducted, but due to circumstances that we know you have really looked into, some of our colleagues that I believe know more than us, that has taught a lot of us that are here, are unfortunately not able to be in this hall, in this induction hall. And that really touched us. From the training you taught us, not to be only doctors, but to be brothers and sisters that cared about each other. We really would love you to look into the induction affairs and the prerequisite to be here. Kneel down, but please be there. At the end, I will say thank you to everyone in MDCN Recall. Thank you to those in We Made It group, those in MDCN Gurus group, and to my special people, Kaab Ibrahim and Suleiman Ibrahim Mujinwa, with Shahida in mind. Thank you, people. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow, that joy could not be contained. Give her a round of applause, please. Congratulations to you and to all the inductees, the new doctors in the house. Congratulations. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we have slowly but surely come to the end of this event, and we want to bring it to a close by taking a vote of thanks, after which we'll take the third stanza of the national anthem. And this event would move to where you are having your own reception to celebrate the new doctors that we have in our country who are foreign trained. I'd like to welcome the man who has the responsibility of delivering the vote of thanks, one who I am always excited to hear him speak because of his command of English and how he's able to engage the crowd, the registrar, Deputy Registrar and HOD Medical Education Department for the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Okay. Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, Dr. Academica Nwakama. Please give him a round of applause as he comes up. Clap for him. Please be generous. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, esteemed guests, very distinguished ladies and gentlemen, as we draw the curtain to this event, it's left for me to pay respect to those who have made it possible for us to gather here and have a successful outing. Very special regards to the very distinguished and honorable members of the National Assembly who have continued to provide support and legislative backup for the Medical and Dental Council and for the regulation that we do. Thank you, Ma, and thank you, sir, for all that you do for us. And to the leadership of the Federal Ministry of Health, our parent ministry, we acknowledge you and we wish you well, even as you continue to pilot the affairs of health in this country. To the chairman and the registrar of what happens to be the foremost medical regulatory authority in sub-Saharan Africa, Professor Lacey, Professor Fatima Kerry, we acknowledge the good work you're doing. To our guest speaker, the inimitable Professor Dili Dogo, sir, your scholarly output started from way back. He has distinctions in multiple disciplines and in multiple courses, and he has displayed it today. We're not surprised at what you've done. And to the leadership and the staff of the Medical and Dental Council, we acknowledge all that you do. And for those who organize this event, fantastic. We thank you. To the parents, without you, there would have been no today if you hadn't sent these people to school. So we thank you for making them come back and seeing them through it. And finally, to the owners of the day, our dear graduates, the inductees, the freshest, the newest doctors in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are glad that you're able to make it. You sojourned through various continents. Some of you came from the Middle East, from Europe, from the Americas, all across the countries of Africa. And today, you have finally been inducted into what unarguably is the most learned and most noble of all professions in the whole wide world. And so today, we can only wish you well, and we ask you, go conquer the world and keep on shining. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Everything that has a beginning, unfortunately, has an end. That was a vote of thanks by Dr. Academica Nwakama, the Deputy Registrar and HOD Medical Education Department for the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute delight for me to have been your host at the oath-taking, the pledge-taking ceremony for the foreign-trained medical and dental graduates right here at the Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. Please do well to follow me on social media at HRH Sambo on Instagram, at HRH Compare on Facebook. Yes, at HRH Sambo on TikTok. Until your next event, please remember that I am HRH. I am Africa's finest MC and events virtuoso. I'd like us all to rise as we take the third stanza of the national anthem and we bring this event to a close and we get the party started. Police band, please. Thank you very much. Please ensure that you exit the hall in an orderly manner. I'm looking for the owner of a vehicle. I only have the plate number ABC 96AX. Your attention is needed at your vehicle. ABC 96AX. Your attention is needed at your vehicle. Adams? All right, members of the high table will be taking a picture. They'll be taking a picture just in front of the stage. We're going to be taking a picture. Can we have members of the high table taking a picture?